So this is video 3 in the Wearable Art Challenge, and I've done a little bit of work on my piece. You need to get any design that you're going to do on a piece before you decide to form it, right? So mine's gonna overlap here in the back, and it's gonna go on my head like that, and I'm gonna start wanting to think about adding other features to this, and I'm going to need to think about it in the third dimension. So before I can move on to thinking about adding feathers and things like that, because this is my inspiration piece, I needed to go ahead and add the design that I wanted to use. So for this, I looked at my inspiration image and I saw a lot of diamonds and triangles and then some straight lines. And so I went ahead and I just did a simplified version. You can be as intricate in your design as you want, or you can be super simple. Art is good both ways. It's just different. So what I did to create this pattern is I used these templates, shape templates that are over by the journal supplies at the front door. And I just used this triangle, and I pushed it up for shorter ones, and then I scooted it over and I kept the distance the same between my triangles by using that there. And then I just pushed it down for my bigger triangles. So then I went up and then I went down, and I did that with a pencil before I did anything else, and I looked at it and I made sure that I liked it before I moved on. And then I used the square template, which if you turn on its side is a diamond, and I used this little guy, and I just went in and kept it consistent that every two I put a diamond in. And two of our things that we're trying to accomplish with this piece is to use symmetry and repetition. So if we were to cut this down the middle, it is very similar on this side as it is on that side. So we've got our symmetry, and it's actually our repetition that's creating that symmetry, right? We have the same thing going on over and over again. So once I got those in there and the way I like with pencil, I went back in with Sharpie. And then I like to erase my pencil marks once I've gotten my marks with Sharpie in case there's anything stray. And then I went in with my my green color, and like I mentioned in the last video, I like to go around the edges first and then color in the inside. That way you get everything and it looks super, super nice. I also decided to add a little bit of pattern work down here, and then I added a thick line at the base. I decided to go in and outline my name just a little bit heavier. Once I got all that color in there, my name started to kind of get lost, so I thought it needed a bolder line around it. And it's okay to go back and make those kinds of edits as you work. It's the work of an artist that does that. So the next thing I'm going to start doing is start working on embellishing this and adding more pattern and more repetition, and continue creating my headdress. Now you may not be making a headdress. Maybe you're making a belt. Maybe you're making an apron. I don't know. But at one point you're going to have to start working in the third 3D realm, and you're going to have to start thinking about it that way. So I might have to put this on to decide where my next features are going to go. I want to do this circle thing with a few feathers hanging down. That's what I'm going to do next. And so I grabbed the circle template, and I picked the circle that seems to work the best for what I'm wanting. And I drew it out twice. Now, a person might want to go ahead and cut that out because they've drawn it, but I'll tell you what, it's very hard to color in a small shape that's already been cut out. So I'm going to need to go ahead and design I see it has a symmetrical design inside the circle here, so I'm going to want to do my design that I'm going to do in these and then cut them out. And I've done this on the white tag board that the rest is done in. And then I'm going to want to add some feathers. Now, when you're wanting to use the same shape over and over again, it's a fantastic idea to make a template or a pattern piece. And then you can take that, trace around it, and make it over and over and over again without having to really draw more than just the first time. So you can see on the back of these, I've got a bunch of squiggle pencil marks. Just trying to find the shape I wanted. I wanted one to be a little straighter, one to have a little bit more movement to it. And so now that I've got my pattern pieces, I can choose a color of paper. Now, I might not want this paper. It might be too blue for my design. I might need to go back to the drawing board on what color I'm actually going to use. But just to give you an idea, once again, we're going to use the salvage end of our paper. I'm not going to put my feather in the middle of my paper. And then cause all this waste on the outside. I might still want it. So I'm going to put it as close to the edge as I can get it reasonably. And then I'm going to take my pencil and I'm just going to pull my pencil along the outside edge of my pattern piece that I've made. And see here, I don't know how well you can see my pencil line, but I've got a copy of my feather, and I'll be able to create it over and over again. So I'm gonna make another. Oh, this one's too long, so I'm gonna have to angle it, and that's okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut these out, take a look at them, get my circles designed, and start constructing my work. Now, when we're constructing things, we need to think about how we're going to adhere them together. There is some different options in the classroom. I would suggest anytime anything could possibly have pressure on it, you don't want to use glue stick. That's going to be your least awesome option. So while we're talking about these and we're talking about adhesives, I wanted to just show you the different options that are here in the art studio. There's going to be this permanent glue pen that's photo safe, and this is going to be great for whenever you're wanting to do any liquid gluing. It's clear, and what I like about these is that you can be really precise. It's got a precision tip on one end, and it has a felt dauber on the other. Too much glue is never a good thing. It takes too long to dry. It makes things muddy and soupy. So I really do enjoy these. Now, there's always Good All Glue All, which is the Glue All is the extra strong formula, and that will adhere heavier pieces of paper together. You just have to be willing to give the glue some time. It needs time. And what it does is it actually seeps into the fibers of the different papers and locks them together. And these two are going to be much stronger adhesive than a glue gun. Okay, now there will be glue guns probably available during this unit, but I want you to be aware that a glue gun is going to be the most brittle and the least reversible choice. So a lot of times if you put pressure on a joint that has been glued with a glue gun, it will pop off and then it no longer is stuck together, where that isn't what happens with glue all or a glue pen. So even though these require more patience to adhere things together, they're definitely a better option than the glue gun. Unless you're trying to, say you're wanting to add a bead or something kind of bigger to it, then a glue gun might be a good choice. All right, happy creating!